Would you look at that mess behind me? This is the fun part about YouTube, right? Is you go live and you have no idea if you're actually live. Let's see. Let's refresh the page. We will see if I'm actually live. Hey, look, I am actually live. Pardon the mess behind me. I could have cleaned up, but I didn't. This was an impromptu live stream. Hey there, I'm Coach Keith. I know you have no idea who I am. Or if you do, you probably watched me years ago on a channel that I had called This ADHD Life. So lots of stuff has happened over the past year, and I'm going to be kind of watching the chat too, although I don't expect anyone to actually watch live. Spoiler alert, this live stream is kind of how I'm planning to do a video today, because I'd like to get back into the content creation game, so to speak. I've been out of it for quite a while now. Lots of life events. Man, I could write a book about my life starting in 2019 until present day moment. But hey, I'm actually here and all like that. I should probably put my watch on silent mode as well. Or I could just freak my dog out by paging iPhone. Anyway, so the point is I'm trying to do videos more often, or I would like to do videos more often. I've been posting on Reels every day for the past 2 to 3 weeks. I had an energy burst a couple of weeks ago, recorded a bunch of things, was able to put them on Reels. Short form content is amazing. It's kind of horrible for society because it's decreasing our attention spans so much. But I'm realizing more and more, I think in video, I've also put out a newsletter for the past couple of weeks as well. There's a pinned chat where you can find a link to that. But I'm realizing video is kind of my form. Video is how my brain thinks. I am a stream of consciousness kind of person. Usually if I'm doing a video, I like to have an index card or something, but I'm not one of those guys that's going to script out the whole thing, because I would never be able to actually follow the entire script. That's just sort of my ADHD brain. It's optimized to think in the moment and be able to deliver speeches in the moment. And I know that I have mentioned this story before, but back when I was in high school, I was in a public speaking class, and I actually really enjoyed it. And most of my speeches, I did not prepare. And then for one of the midterms or a final, my teacher said, hey, you're going to have to actually prepare your speech. You have to have something written. And afterwards, she said, well, that was a C-worthy speech, but I'm going to give you an A because I kind of screwed up your vibe. You see, I had been getting B pluses, A minuses or so for all of my speeches because I'm just able to use the fast processing of my brain to deliver content on almost any subject that I know about, right? If you ask me about the state of the coffee crops in Colombia, provided Colombia is a coffee producing nation, well, that's not going to be me. But give me a week and I'll watch enough YouTube and research enough Wikipedia to be able to tell you all about the coffee in Colombia. So this is this week's video, just sort of explaining what's happened with the channel. It's going to be a very quick video, very quick live stream, because I think 0 people, yes, 0 people are watching at the 3-minute and 30-minute mark, which doesn't surprise me. I have not been posting much in 3 or 4 years. And I scheduled this about half an hour ago. Who the hell is going to watch this? You're probably watching this 5 or 6 years from now when the YouTube algorithm has said, hey, you're binging Coach Keith. Do you want to see when he was really embarrassing back then? Of course, you know what the algorithm doesn't. It's that I'm going to be embarrassing all the time, and that's okay. Now, the video production when you're watching this may be better, and if you're watching this in 2030, I probably have less hair, or I've had my hair transplant, and I might be at that stage where I'm dyeing my beard. It might look a little more polished, but it's still going to be the same old Keith. It's funny, I'm posting a TikTok or something tomorrow. Maybe I'll post it as a short as well. That I recently realized when someone says, could you be more professional? They're really asking you, could you code switch more? Oh, by the way, that's Daisy back there. She's my walking buddy on my walks with Daisy when I post to Instagram Reels. So that's what's been happening. I will tell you, I had a nomadic lifestyle from October 2022 through to about January of this year. What I didn't realize is that I was actually committing to 2 different jobs, really 3 if you count my coaching business, which, by the way, I'm an ADHD coach. If you are in need of a life coach that has a specific experience with ADHD, check me out at thisadhdlife.com. But I had back then really wanted to be one of those nomadic guys that posted every day. And I so regret not posting every day, not getting over myself, but I also hadn't put in any structure to post every day. I hadn't realized the commitment it was going to take, and that it really was going to be a second job, that YouTube or Reels or TikTok or Snapchat or whatever I posted on was actually going to be like a second job. And then, of course, the third job was the damn travel itself, right? I went from Oregon up to Washington, then Montana, the Dakotas, then down to Dallas, then I went up to Pennsylvania. Like, I went all over the place. That was my second job. My first job was coaching. The second job, coaching paid for that travel, right? Paid for being able to live. My second job was actually traveling. Then my third job could have been posting every day. And I look back at it and I realize there's a bunch of limiting beliefs I could have tried to give up. That I didn't, right? And that's okay. Maybe if I pursue a nomadic lifestyle again, I'm actually thinking about making a trip out to the Southwest and then LA for the ADHD conference in November. I'm starting to think about how to fund that, because now that I'm in an apartment, I can't necessarily afford to stay at extended stay hotels as my primary residence. So I got to think about how to fund that and how that would look. But it's something I can start planning now, which by the way, is something that ADHDers have a problem with, right? It's a classic sort of, let me check myself. I plan quite a bit, but when I get really excited about something, I just want to start it and I don't want to plan. So for example, the reels that I'm doing, there's no plan. The newsletter I'm doing, there is no plan. The only plan is to be consistent with it. So I put something out every week for the newsletter, every day for the reels. And I ultimately want to get to putting out content every week on YouTube, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe there's a live stream. I would love to have sort of an Ask Coach Keith Q&A where there's active participation and I can help more people. But that takes planning. And it's harder to do because I judge myself a lot harder on this platform than I do when I'm behind my keyboard typing, or when I'm on the belt line near me and just filming Daisy while random stuff pops out of my mouth. Useful stuff, but still random stuff. When I'm here steering myself in the camera, and I know, Kirsty, you said to look directly at the camera. By the way, that's hard for people with ADHD too, is to stare people directly in the eyes. But the point to it is this is harder. I hate using this headset. I'd like my Heil PR40 and it's echoey in here, so I would need soundproofing, and I'd love a green screen, and I want better lighting than this stupid ring light. And a lot of those sort of limiting beliefs I just had to get over today, because the main belief I had was, damn it, Keith, you're getting a damn video out today. And guess what? There's going to be a video out today that probably 2 of you have watched to completion in 2024, and probably hundreds of thousands have watched in 2030. Am I still alive in 2030? You know what? Do me a favor. If you're seeing this in 2030, definitely, please comment and just see if you are, if I'm still alive. Right? Hey, Keith, you still alive? Because it's possible I'll go silent again. I hope not, because again, I'm realizing my brain thinks in video. Okay, so at the end of this video, I'm going to wind down here because I don't want to ramble too much. Again, I could go into more detail, and I may in the future, but a lot of it's really personal. And until I feel comfortable with the community, the audience, until I know someone's listening out there, I'm not going to get too deep. And I may never get too deep because I don't want to overshare. But let's just say life had been tough, and there's reasons for not posting. But some of the BS reasons I'm trying to overcome. Okay, as I wrap up, if you have a question about ADHD, or just general life, because I am a life coach and my mission is to help more people, sort of men specifically, acknowledge mental health issues and overcome them and reset the boundaries for themselves, both in terms of creating boundaries, but also jumping over boundaries to accomplish more. God, buzzword. Pop it in the comments below. I'll answer it in a future YouTube stream or on a reel or in a newsletter or just in the comments. So feel free to comment below. If you hated the video, I guess do a thumbs down and I'll figure that out. If you liked it, hit a thumbs up. If you want a future topic covered but don't have a specific question, pop it in the comments below. And now you're going to get to see me vamp for a minute while I figure out how to end the damn live stream. Oh, look, the big red button. All right, take care. Have a good weekend if you're watching this on a Friday. Oh, good. There's a fucking confirmation box. Thanks, YouTube. Just makes things so much easier when you click a button and it doesn't do what you ask it to do.